Haven't done a vlog with this new mic, so I'm gonna vlog. Haven't done one in a while. This is gonna be kind of a depressing one, but it's hopefully kind of motivational as well, maybe. um, the too long didn't read is gonna be live your life while you still have some time left, because time waits for no one, right? And this is gonna keep getting more and more depressing, but hopefully at the end there's a little bit of a switcheroo, and it's still kind of depressing, but it's a little bit more motivating. Oh boy, that kind of a not a very good forward there, was it, dude? Um, so I want to talk about again, live life while you can before you're dead, because life is going to end for us all, right? So how should I segue into this? Of course, I have a lot of regrets in my life. When I had all my life or death stuff, and of course, I'm still going to die a sick person, right? I know that's going to happen eventually. My body's going to give it out on me. And as I've said before, a lot of my regrets in life are I didn't do as much. You know what I mean? When I wish I when I was really having a lot of opportunities to do stuff, I didn't take advantage of that stuff properly, right? You know what I mean? I guess I do regret being a nerd a little bit. You could say, of course, I don't have like a lot of happy memories at all from video games, really. And I wish I would have taken modeling more seriously, but no one expects to get sick when they're a kid, right? That's life, right? But so I'm gonna tell a story though of someone, and I've told a little bit about this person before. Why? Because I've seen this person get older. You know what I mean? In front of me throughout my life, and it's a very good example of why to live life while you can. And that person would be my mom, right? This is gonna be depressing, right? So of course, if you've watched my other vlogs, whatever, you may have, I've talked some about my life. I have not had a very fairy tale life. And my mom is a pretty, not the devil, but not a very good person. A lot of people in my family are not really good people, right? My mom is one of the people and reasons, as many people are, I guess, that I have a very low, maybe respect for people in general. It's really shown me what people can do to other people in this world, not just as a I don't like women or something like that. It's shown me what a human being can do to another person. And so I'm using my mom as an example for this because my mom is someone who is a very convenient person, someone who has abused many people for her profit, if you will. I don't know if profit is the exact word, but for her well-being. She's someone that is, I don't want to say my mom's a whore or slut, but I would not put it past my mom that my mom will pretend to suck your dick if she thinks she'll get something, right? That's the kind of person my mom is. I could tell a specific story, and again, this is I know this is going to be really depressing. These aren't happy stories, but life is not always a box of chocolates, right? I don't know if I've told this specific story, but I've told the story before of how when I was younger, at one time my mom was, besides the fact that my mom abused me and my mom allowed her boyfriends to abuse me, um, my mom at one point was trying to get me to tell people that I was retarded because my middle brother is retarded, autistic, whatever it is, right? And he gets money for it. So my mom wanted me to tell people that I was retarded too because she wanted to get money from it, right? She's like, Clayton, tell people you're retarded. We can get money, blah, blah, blah. Right? Fucked up, but is what it is, right? I could tell you, and this is a specific story. When I was younger, my mom, geez, God, I remember my grandma, whatever. Everyone's always talking about how terrible life is, blah, 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 blah. Everyone's going to kill everyone, all this kind of shit. So an example might be that my mom would always tell me, make sure you lock the door and you got to walk around the house, lock every door 2, 3 times, whatever the fuck it was, double check it, blah, 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 blah. Make sure the oven's off, then go and make sure the oven's off again. Someone's going to come in and kill us all or something like that, right? So then what my mom was doing when she was trying to get me to say that I was retarded for money, which of course I didn't, she would invite friends over. And so this sort of like routine that my mom would make me do of checking everything because people were going to kill us or people were going to rob us, whatever the fuck it might be. So she actually started at one point, she would invite friends over. And while I was like double checking stuff, she would say right in front of me, no shame, to her friend, like, see, Clayton's retarded. He has like, he's obsessive compulsive. He has to check everything because he thinks someone's going to get us. I just wish he would say he's retarded. I just wish you would say you're retarded, Clayton. You know you can get money like Jacob. That's the kind of person my mom is, right? And, God, there's so many stories. It makes me, my mom, I've said before, I don't remember my dad being a good guy. I told the story. My dad, he blew his brains out when I told him he was going to die anyway. But I don't remember my dad being a good guy in the first place. But, I have vague memories of my dad. And I can tell you, my mom has told me stories that, my dad abused my mom. Right, I'm going to say that correctly, right? And I can tell you when I got older, I realized, man, dude, more and more I realized, like, you know what? I don't know if I don't know if my dad did all this stuff. Or at least I don't know if my dad was necessarily the antagonist, right? When I saw what my mom was capable of. I saw my mom. I remember one of my mom's boyfriends, a story was way when we were younger, right? I was into hockey, right? And I just wanted to get a newspaper because I think there was like a picture of Urbe, right? He was like my favorite. It's like, oh, can I have 25 cents for a newspaper? Because there was like a picture of Urbe in it, right? Because I liked hockey when I was really young. And my mom went and she got her boyfriend, and her boyfriend picked me up. He started dragging me around. He threw me around and he ripped my shirt, you know what I mean? Because he just throwing me all around the house. And, my mom later said she didn't remember. Because later, I don't know exactly when, but my mom was eventually, from what I understand, my mom has been diagnosed as bipolar and manic depressive, whatever, right? So my mom has been, it's so ridiculous the life I've lived, right? My mom has been able to, at first it was kind of like you have to tell yourself that, oh, my mom is a woman, right? My mom's a girl. You can't, God, she's a girl. That's what girls do, right? But then you realize, oh, now the next excuse is like, oh, she's, she's manic depressive and bipolar and she's a woman. So you can't hold it against her, anything she's ever done to you. Any lie she's told. Right? How convenient. That's, just like, there's a lot of obviously mentally ill people in the video game community who have tried to say that I faked being sick, which is so ridiculous. Like I said, that's one of the greatest, like, jokes of my life is I got that modeling job and, man, my life had just turned around so lickety split, and then I got sick, and man, what a cruel joke, right? That I finally could have got it away from everyone, right? But that's how life goes sometimes. But so anyway, the point is, my mom is, my mom will lie a lot for things. She'll lie whatever. She'll try to lie whatever to get whatever things she can do. I've always seen my mom my whole life, trying to like flirt with guys one minute, and then she'll be on the phone. She's like, oh, that guy's so ugly. I can't believe it. But you know what? He's going to do something for me. So I'm going to pretend and blah, 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 blah. So the point is, though, as my mom has gotten older, I've seen her power, if you will, to manipulate people decrease. I know there was this guy recently that, she was telling people stories, randomly when we got to get together for family shit, which again, I don't really want to get together with family. I feel like I'm forced to. But, you see that family owner and, my mom, she'll start telling stories like, oh, yeah, this guy, he's going to, I don't remember exactly the word she phrases it. We're like, oh, yeah, some guy's going to give you money. No, he's not giving me money. He's allowing me to use the money. Where the fucking word? She didn't want to exactly sound like a whore, I guess, but. And I should say, for what it's worth, I'm not saying my mom doesn't work hard, whatever her, when she's like had a job and shit like that. That's not what I'm saying. Just saying my mom is not a fucking angel. Let me say that. But so there's this guy that my mom was going to like marry recently, right? And the guy was, I could tell the guy was beta, right? This isn't that I'm like an alpha male, but I could tell the guy was like a beta dude, right? Because he was very docile. But I saw that my mom did not, as beta as this dude was, he was not exactly like up for my mom, right? It was very, I could tell my mom, it's kind of interesting because, a woman's value is so much more when they're younger and they get older, and it's just, we're just talking about life seriously, right? And I could tell that even as beta as this guy was, my mom is getting so old that these guys are, it's harder for them to like fall for it, right? Like, man, there's a story. This guy, he has all this pension, and my mom. The story was he was like, my mom's like, well, you got to get rid of your dog, and you can't do this, and you can't do this, and you got to give me $5,000 every month. And I could see the guy, and the guy's like, am I really gonna fucking do this? You know what I mean? And long story short, I think they broke up like maybe almost 10 times. They went multiple times to the altar, and he just didn't go through with it. And of course, every time my mom would be on the phone, you know, trying to tell someone where the fuck she's trying to do, trying to tell people at dinner when you get randomly family together, like, oh God, oh, I can't believe you break up with me, or but oh God, and she's like, he wasn't giving me money, he's allowing me to use the money because he doesn't know how to use money properly, so I have to. And you know, you could just see that my mom was getting old and her life is over, right? There were some stories she was recently telling of. There's this guy, right? Oh man, this guy, and he got in some accident, right? So he has all this money. His wife died. He can't really use his legs anymore. He's in crutches, but he has all this money. And so he's been doing all these things for my mom, right? And eventually the story was they went to Cancun then, I think she said. I don't know if she said the Cancun or the Caribbean, where the fuck it was, right? And eventually the guy's been doing all this stuff, and he got a hotel room, but the hotel room only had one bed. And I guess my mom was like, hey, you only got one leg. If you thought I was ever going to do anything with you, you're crazy. You're just doing this for me or some shit. And the guy flipped out on her. And he tried to, I guess he almost attacked her with the cane. And the crazy thing is, though, my mom was telling the story like it was the guy's fault. Like, she is so high value. Like, you only have one leg. Did you think you were doing this all for me for free? I wasn't going to actually ever do anything with you. And the story is, the point is, though, that your life is going to be over before you know it. I have seen, again, I don't want to say the word evil, but not very good people. I've seen them get older in front of my, I've seen it as a child, you know, being abused, you know, and then I've seen just how evil people are. I guess I just said the word evil, but I've seen that time comes for us all. And, you know, even my mom, who had so much power, yeah, I've seen that she's losing power over even these like beta males, right? You know, and I always wonder, and, you know, I still know my mom makes up lies about me all the time, right? You know, she goes, can't tell me how many times. You know, my mom one minute will tell people that I'm sick and it's so sad. The other minute, she won't say anything about that, right? You know what I mean? If it's convenient to have a sick child, she'll talk about it. If it's not, you know, she's Mother Teresa, right? You know, but again, I don't know, not very positive, but the point is, and it's not positive, right? I guess, but the point is, life is over before you know it, right? One day you're not going to be able to do anything, so you need to live life while you can. And maybe that's actually, maybe this isn't a good story because maybe it's telling you to take advantage of people while you can, right? But hopefully that wasn't exactly what you got from the story, but I guess it could have been. Very fucking depressing story, but I thought it was very interesting because I was talking with friends about it too, and it was just like, man, you know, you see people, you're eventually gonna get older, and you know what? All the just like, you know, all the lies that people have told about me, like, oh, my mom doesn't remember abusing me or allowing her boyfriends to abuse me, right? She was sick, so you can't hold it against her, right? Okay, dude. Right? It's just like there's all these examples of all the lies the video game community has made up against me and profited off of it, right? So, and will they ever be held accountable? No. But you know, I'm not someone that actually forgives people, so I don't know. I'm not sure what the point of this was, but I thought it was really interesting because, you know, I don't know, live life while you can because life is going to be over. Hopefully, you won't live your life taking advantage of people, but I guess that is a perspective you could have gotten from this video to take advantage of people while you can. Maybe that's the perspective you got from it. I guess it could be. It's kind of sad if you think it, but really, you know, life is going to be over. We're all going to get older, and there's nothing you can do, right? And I've always said I regret not, you know, doing more stuff when I was younger, and you know, but I guess I never expected to get sick, right? And that drastically changed my life. But Um, I don't know if that was a positive video, but it's something I thought about and I talked with friends because I just thought it was so crazy just to like see it. You know what I mean? To see, oh boy, not a positive video, but hey, there's not a lot of video game shit to do, so probably will be more vlogs. I've even thought of doing some fragrance reviews again recently, so I don't know. Man,